All right, and we're live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to our Stranger Things Season 4 live stream. Marie can't be here, but we have me, Quater Life Jam, and then we have the Groovester. What does she call you? She call you J Groove?
Just J Groove or just Groove.
J Groove or just Groove? Pick your acronym. Pick your name. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 4, some of the things that we noticed, just our overall review of it. And I guess, Groove, you usually do the season show talk about summary? Summary, that's the word. Yes.
Recap.
That too. So, Jet Groove, take it away.
Okay, super simple. We join our heroes a couple years later. Everybody's all big now. Some of them live in California. Some still live in Green Hill Zone. And the kids in Green Hill Zone, they're still friends, but kind of. One of them plays basketball because that's what black people do. And then the other ones are still in their D&D thing, living up their nerd selves. And in sunny California, some of them are no, actually, all of them are going to school, well, except for the oldest one. Obviously, he's getting high with his friends, doing hood rat stuff. And while Jonathan's getting high with his friend, I can't remember the guy's name. So I've only watched this thing one time through. Uh, Will and Elle are not cool in school, and they don't like that too much. So it is whatever. And then, and then, Elle invites our boy Finn, from the same Finn from the cartoon. He comes with a sword and everything. He came out there. He left Jake behind though, and he's only hang out with her. But then she gets picked on at the skating ring, like it happens in every hood. You can't go there and not get picked on with a fit like that. I mean, she's dressed like Winona Ryder, in the middle of the skate ring. They gonna say something to her. You look crazy as hell, like seeing a movie, even though it's not a movie. And so we get several subplots going along. Skip ahead. Elle goes back to school. Finn, Will, and Jonathan get caught up in some nonsense and go try to find Elle.
Is school different just from regular school?
If you kind of learn to be brain on brain power, yeah, it's a big difference, a whole different thing. And man, I can't think. And then uh my brain has left me. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, anyway, they go back, he go back to school. They come through and try to find Elle, and then the kids in the D&D gang are trying to figure out what's going on in the upside down because it seems to be coming back because people are dying for no reason. And then our good friend Hopper, he's in Russian prison. I know, Russian jail, and he's getting fed like grits and concrete every day because his face he look rough like he's been going through it. All to get fed to a demigorgon in the end, and he don't like that. Nobody likes that. Long story short, he defeats that demigorgon. He escapes that demigorgon and meets up with Winona Ryder and the what's it called? Can't think of his name.
Murray?
Murray, no, yeah, Murray, yeah, the
Murray.
one who knows martial arts now. He don't learn kung fu like the Matrix style. He's kind of sat down in the chair and he was like, oh, I know kung fu. And he took somebody to believe in him to get it. And then such a stupid reference. Finn and them still ain't found nobody, so he's still searching. You know, driving around that dude's wagon. High as hell. They're all getting high together, the high bunch. And Elle is unlocking her powers to fight Fate Freddy Krueger. And of course, the Hellfire Club gang, all the rest of where all the other important characters, the biggest group of people, uh, they lost Nancy and upside down right now. She's getting tortured. And they're like, to be continued, which pissed me off. So there you go. Now you know the whole story so far, minus a whole bunch of other elements that actually makes that whole thing make sense.
Yeah, well, the thing when we watched it, and we've only been through it once, about a week ago,
Mm,
and
mm,
um, so apparently they split it into two parts, which I believe Netflix did it just because they didn't want people to cancel their Netflix subscriptions. Um, but we're not going to get into that. So
we might.
overall, we might. Uh, so overall thoughts, what did you think about season 4, or what have you thought about season 4 part 1 so far?
I'm mad it's a part one, in which the whole thing was all the way through.
We just said we wasn't gonna get into that.
I don't care. I don't like that at all. Actually, just show me the whole damn show. Part one, part two. Me, like I'm a child. Like I can't handle the whole thing at
You
one time.
can't handle the truth.
Don't Kill Bill this.
You can't handle the truth.
No, show me the damn movie.
Actually, Kill Bill was the better, like I can't say better part one, part two, but the fact that they split this up, it just I wouldn't say it adds to the anticipation of the whole thing, but it just kind of brings you down because while you're watching it, you're just so into everything. I feel like splitting it up just kind of like brings the the hype down.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, I don't care. I will say that I was, and it's like Maria was there here right now. She will be in the same boat, I think. When I say this, if Kill Bill came out nowadays, they would show the whole damn movie because they do Snyder cuts the same way.
It's like Titanic. You just like break it up into two VHS sets.
They didn't have a choice. We just can't hold so much data at one time. Hate this part one, part two shit. Just do the damn.
Okay, well, besides the part one, part two, we saw a lot of elements, as you mentioned, Freddy Krueger, so of Nightmare of Elm Street. I was getting a lot of it vibes with the whole feeding off of children's fear, and of course, they attacked teenagers or attacked teenagers because
It was easy.
yeah, it was easy. And it's weird because I love like the freak out of just seeing the kids, and I know this is fucked up, but seeing them like it's so graphic, and I feel like we're like the handles have been like flown off on this season because it feels a lot more graphic than previous seasons.
I can see that. I kind of agree with it. So this is clearly more of a horror series than before. It was more sci-fi-ish. Now it's not. Now it's more like escape the nightmares, which is kind of like Kingdom Hearts a little bit. I don't know, like ready from the Heartless and shit. It's like,
Mhm.
oh no, escape the darkness. I don't quite understand how L literally sent that dude to the Shadow Realm. that
So we
was
do it from the beginning straight to like near the end. So
yeah,
we're going
we're gonna go everywhere. I'm just gonna point out what I remember, what I liked about it. I like
well,
the
so
fact that L was like, Exodia has been formed, obliterate. And she put her hand out there and it was like, no. And his
it's
life points went like, yeah, there's some zero life points. He's just like, no. And he literally was gone. They were like, yo, what happened? And L was like, bitch.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
pass out.
Instead of like straight killing them, like she, like you said, she banished him to the shadow realm,
Well, you gotta
and
really hate somebody to put them somewhere they don't belong. She didn't even just kill them. She was like, I got something else for you.
yeah, she killed off the dude that plays young Grindelwald, or is like I remember him as Anthony from Sweeney Todd. So like I know. But seeing him like in those roles, he plays some he is his size. He plays crazy ass characters. But we do find out that Peter Ballard is a Ballard?
Ballard, I think. Yeah.
Ballard, Peter Ballard, is Vecna. And so it brings in that connection from even the beginning with L and the Upside Down.
Yep.
So now we know. So she has almost literally created like this monster.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't like her.
Yeah, I mean he was a monster before.
Nah,
Um,
he was a spider enthusiast before. You become
okay.
a monster till he got mad at his mom. This all could have been solved. His mom just hugged him.
I mean,
That's it. But
listen,
we couldn't do that.
no,
So
because even back then, his dad, who is telling the story, who is apparently Hannibal Lecter, um,
and the original Freddy Krueger.
and the original Freddy Krueger, that jail scene with Robin and Nancy, that is straight out of Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was expecting somebody to be like, I can smell your gun. Like, oh, gross. Why? What's going on? Dude's not going to masturbate on the Mizzy.
I mean,
Oh, terrible.
also he can't see them, so
No,
yeah.
he can't. But still,
Just,
it's just
just the
like,
thought of them is like, oh my god, yes, now it's time to touch myself.
they were crazy in there. That one black dude, Hannibal the Cannibal, Hannibal the Cannibal. Boy, that movie there. That movie was supposed to be scary, but it was kind of funny.
Oh my god. Okay, so so in the beginning, we are introduced to some other characters. We're introduced to um, Eddie Munson,
Yeah.
who is like
Is it
a
Munson or Mudson? I think it's Munson.
Munson,
Yeah.
Munson. I know what I said. I know the words that came out of my mouth.
Okay,
Uh,
excuse me.
who is the leader of the Hellfire Club, and we're also introduced to what is her name? The cheerleader chick.
I can't remember too well. There's too many
Yeah,
characters.
but we're Chrissy the cheerleader.
All right, yeah.
So we are like into the series where it's more than just like our core group that is being affected, because Chrissy is one of those characters that has been, she's like Bart. She had like this really terrible thing happen to her. Of course, like the creature is like feeding on fear. She's trying to get drugs from Eddie to make the I guess hallucinations is what she's thinking they are. Hallucinations go away. And there are a couple of symptoms like headaches, nausea, vomiting, upset stomach, diarrhea. She's just taking Pepto-Bismol. But and
gout. She got gout.
She has a gout, yes. Such a young age. I don't know how that happened. But and then you go into all these symptoms that we see, like Max developing, other characters developing, because they all went to go see the same in school therapist, basically. So what did you think about the introduction of these characters? And then we find out that because of her death, now everyone is after Eddie. They think he killed her. How? I don't know, because that is a gruesome kind of death. But it just shows you the mentality back then, because it also mirrors the fact that back in the day, everyone was afraid of like, oh my god, Satan worshiping people, blah blah blah.
Yeah, D&D was just so evil, and all of the bullshit that they made up because they didn't understand it. That's what fear does. Ugh.
Your phone.
The phone is on vibrate. I just keep getting calls from my old job, and
well, turn your vibrator off, guy. We're professional here. Do not have your vibrator on in the show.
Don't tell me how to please myself in front of these people. I know what I'm doing. Nobody know what's going on behind these scenes. I have my things that I do to keep me calm. I drink and I know things. So.
Completely different show, my guy. Completely different show.
That's not your slogan, bitch.
Let's go. What did you think about Eddie and Chrissy's characters?
I didn't care. Well, let me tell you that back. Let me tell you back. That's a lie. Chris didn't care anything about. I was like, oh, Chrissy is what you call in my pants a throwaway character. Mm-hmm. She was there just to be thrown away. Like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
Well, I feel like she was there only to like drive the plot forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Throwaway character. She's like the first pancake.
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of it. There was too much junk in it. Mm-hmm. She was I didn't even feel sorry for her. I mean, they tried to show a thing like her mom's calling her, fat and all that stuff, and it was mean and terrible.
And then the vision, the final vision of her dad, like in the chair with his like mouth sewn up,
because he never spoke up for her. He kind of stayed quiet, even though her mom was treating her like garbage. My personal opinion is I just didn't care if she was gone, but I thought it was a neat display of what he would do to you.
Yeah,
like what would happen to the people when they got caught. So like, it really set the tone of what kind of monster they were dealing with, like how powerful he was and how he made them do a whole bunch of walk like Egyptian dance steps and then bent them up like burnt like G.I. Joe man or whatever on a stovetop, or like I don't know if you remember the movie. You do Tales from the Hood.
Yeah,
he took the David Allen Green with like a monster, and the kid folded the paper. He was like he was folding up, and then twist him up, and he turn around in circles, and he put him on the stove and burn him. Yeah, that's it. Kind of remind me of it. It was like you guys asked 12, but Eddie is actually a pretty interesting character. He's pretty cool. I feel like he's in the show at the right time, but I kind of wish he was introduced in the last season because he has a lot of. He's just a rocker dork. And I like him. it seems that Dusty seems to invite a lot of
Did you call him Dusty?
yeah. It seems like Dusty seems to invite a lot of dorky characters to him.
Well, Dustin is I don't know if you know this, but
Oh, it's
that entire
Dusty. I said
yeah,
Dusty.
you said Dusty. That's why I asked.
You
Make
know
sure
what?
you know
When
who
I
you're
call
talking
him
about.
Dusty, I think he's supposed to be such a kid. I'm like, hey, Dusty. You know,
Well, I mean, they're all like nerd characters, so knows why it makes sense. And we get like this is the first time we have not only a huge divide as far as where the characters reside, one in California, one in Indiana. But you have the divide, like Lucas has kind of left the group and gone to do like hood rat shit with his
no,
like
Lucas was trying to get them laid in the future. Lucas was trying to make them cool.
that's what
Because
said.
Lucas can't even play basketball. That's the thing about it. He's not good at it, and he knows that. He got
He
on the
made
team
that shot. He made that shot, and he
by
won
luck.
the
Lucas is just some
championship.
tall kid with a flat top. Lucas modeled himself after the same kid from the Bird King Kids Club menu. Well, I don't think it came out yet. I think that's like they got another couple of years for that.
Yeah.
But like Lucas modeled that kid. He had the high tie fade and everything, and he decided I'm doing a basketball club and a basketball team, and I'm gonna shoot some whatever. I may sit the bench, and when I get cool, they can be cool by proxy. And they were just like, bro, we dorks. We just nerds, man. We're always gonna be nerds. And it proves right because Dusty
Okay.
turned out to be the major hero in this entire plot line. Out of all of them, Dustin has done the most good out of all of them. Like, seriously, Dustin's activities have been the most heroic, most positive. Even though he's like, a teenager and he has a lot of like, I'm in charge issues. I mean, it's gonna happen. He knows everything what to do. He's figured everything out.
He has called out everything. He's like, "Oh, this is just like Freddy Krueger. Then we should get the lights, and you remember this and this and this and this." It's like that's how we communicate. Like he was on a point. Even his relationship with um, not Jonathan, with Steve is like next level. And there's just bigger like old married couple
every time.
Like the
Wipe your
moment
shoes, not inside the car.
the moment when he was like, "We're here to get flashlights. Do you need to be told everything?" I love it. I love their dynamic. Like it is just so great. It's so great. But Dustin was on point. I felt like Dustin should have just been spearheading this entire thing.
Dustin is the example of why it's good to be a nerd.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being a nerd. It can save your life one day.
I was gonna say for all those nerds out there, just remember that being nerdy can save your life one day.
You know
Ham
what's-
can save your life one day.
Hey, ham bone.
Ham boning in real time.
All Rigby style. But no, like for real, being a nerd is awesome. And that's why it's so awesome, because it will literally save your life one day. Dustin's nerdness is like, it's like fresh baked cinnamon rolls. He just out there being prepared and ready and just kicking ass and cussing, and I love it.
So after all of that, like that dynamic, we talked about some of the characters. One we did not mention was Max. Well, actually, we'll talk about Max later. This is a huge issue right now in the story is 11 and Finn, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw Will into this because it's a weird kind of threesome dynamic.
We're talking about the romance stuff in the show. Oh, there's so much of it. So
Okay, well, not just that, but the whole because in this series, Eleven's been picked on quite a lot. She's shown to be picked on at her new school, and she's shown to be picked on back in the Rainbow Room during like all the experiments. But it's like a completely different part that she's playing right now because it's all so passive. She can't do anything about it. When we first see 11, she's like this badass, and she's like covering kids above like stuff and making them pee themselves and like scaring them out and shit. And she's kind of like great. She's kind of like range and she's trying to cope with being normal, it seems.
Yeah, welcome to the restaurant world. Actually, I was kind of hoping in the beginning she would have a Carrie moment, just And everyone's like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, when she
Try
went.
to attack the girl in the front. Yeah, and nothing happened. I was like, "Oh, that's so embarrassing."
I mean,
Like,
she got her ass back in the skating ring.
oh
She
yeah,
bopped the shit out of
oh
her
yeah,
forehead,
yeah,
which also for Finn, just the look of like, I don't even know you anymore, kind
yeah.
of pissed me
Now,
off.
Finn, go find Will, kiss him.
Well, we don't know. They never explain Will's. Well, they haven't explained Will's sexuality, but there was like a
Whatever.
lot of tension.
Will's dick is hard for Finn. I don't care what nobody says.
All right, cool it, cool out.
Will's, they're grown. Will's heartbeat.
They're not grown in the series. They're grown
They're
in
grown in
real
real
life.
life. I'm not saying anything that's nobody's younger than Elle. She's 18. Look, this is my thing.
What's your thing?
Will clearly loves Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Will loves Finn almost too much. You could. It's obvious. It's like, dude, it's clear you have emotional feelings for your friend here.
It really does feel that way. But he just says that he misses him a lot, and that it's different him being away because he talks to 11 all the time. And
I slick ship him.
You ship Finn and Will.
They might be happier than Finn and Elle. He's all disgusted. It might be opposite. It looks like
instead of Phil, it'll be Phil.
It actually looks kind of like Jonathan is losing his girlfriend. She's about to go back to Stephen. So
he's losing Nancy.
Yeah, that's what I said. His girlfriend, because like they're dating, but like you see this spark rekindling between the two of them. It's like like a reverse, like going back to season 1 all over again. But final season. Even though I don't feel like Stephen should have Nancy personally, and I say that because like their personalities really just didn't mesh well. And even though Jonathan's a pothead now, Nancy probably could do well with getting high.
Is Jonathan a pothead or is Stephen the pothead? Which one's the pothead?
Jonathan's a pothead.
Jonathan's a pothead. You're Steve. Yeah. And I was trying to find the name of his friend, but I will never be able. No. That's the female gay friend who's trying to get him up on game. Apparently. Yeah. The pothead, Argyle, the other guy.
I can never remember his name. I don't know.
Yeah. But like we don't think of him as like a vital character, but he ends up actually saving their lives from the gunslingers.
Because he has a vehicle. He has a
piece of vehicle.
Yeah, he has a vital means of transportation.
Yeah,
and that is awesome. Works out.
So meat and potatoes. Besides like the whole getting picked on, we do find that the doctor who helped them in the second season, I want to say second season, is
makes a reappearance,
makes a reappearance, and says he's going to help. He knows how to get Aladdin's powers back, and she goes back to she goes with him to this like secret underground place. Ooh, it's good. And we find out that the doctor is still alive. Dr. Martin. We find out that Dr. Martin is still alive. And that completely, I think that was like a huge moment. Like,
because we thought his ass was dead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh snap.
We thought
he didn't die at all. It's like a real Marvel comic. No one stays dead.
We thought he was dead. Eleven's having these visions of like she thinks that like she either killed people or something had happened back there that she doesn't like quite understand, and they're trying to get her powers back by going through again. Her memories fits all into the dream state of this whole thing. Just like rekindle that and get her powers back. How do you feel about the reveal?
About the doctor being there?
Mm-hmm.
Snap. Thought he was dead. Like, I don't know. When he first opened the screen, I was like, I thought that nigga died like 2 seasons ago. What in the world? But then like he just came back on the screen. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
He's here being a nuisance. But what was an interesting reveal was that he is not the bad guy.
Yeah.
Even though he kind of is. No, he's not. Because he tried to keep that Vecna's ass or whatever.
At the time,
they keep him under control and temper his bill. It's like they just want to control us. They don't want you to calm your ass down. You can't go out in public all the time and just kill people you don't see fit to be around.
Well, and we thought that he was I think another big reveal of that is they kept talking about, like, number 1,
Mhm.
and we thought that, oh, number 1 was, like, dead and gone and, like, he was unalived.
I never thought that. I really was thinking that he was number one the entire time. The way he was speaking to her, I was like,
Yeah.
"There's no way he's not number one."
Yeah, there was some, like, suspicious things going on where
Yeah,
because he got so close to her, and at first you're like, "Oh, he's just trying to help her because, like, nobody likes her, she's getting picked on," and then it became this, "No, this is a little bit more."
yeah, clearly.
Yeah, and so I think the one thing that kind of took a turn was when he was I feel like if the Dr. Martin never took him back there and just, like, shot the shit out of him, Eleven would have thought that he was like, "Okay, this is, like, in danger, I need to help, like, all of us." And it kind of, like, furthered her, viewship of him. I'm sorry, I have weird brain right now. So, but yeah, it kind of, like, affected how she saw him and, um what allowed her to trust him enough to remove the thing from the snake, which he said, if you didn't pay attention enough, he said, I mean, I think you caught this, "It weakens me." And
Yeah,
so in your mind, that's like, "Fuck, what does that mean?" He's one of them.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I knew he had to be one of them regardless. Like
Mhm.
when he was talking to her, when he was giving her advice, at first I was like, "Why are you talking to the little girl so closely? Stop doing that. It's creepy. Go away from her." But then like I was like, "Okay, he made a story, the story about number one." I was like, "Okay, he's probably number one.
Mhm.
He's picking on L more like, or he's
Not from Kids Next Door.
no,
Completely different
not,
number.
not that number one, not Nigel. Yeah, I was thinking about there's a little echo when you talk, Jam. I told you that.
I think it's because your microphone so we're literally in the same room, and so I think it's, your microphone picking me up. I'm so sorry. How about this, Alpha Wolf? Is this better? This turns out to be a ASMR stream. Welcome to Stranger Things Season 4 ASMR.
Did not see that coming.
I didn't either. But yeah,
I'm trying to find a way to make this where it's not catching you.
sorry folks, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here since we're in the same room. Like I'm literally looking into his eyeballs right now. Just so you know, his nipples are hard.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
If
You
I
feel
say you just make up that story.
Yeah, I did. So, so I'm going to try not to speak so loudly and see if that kind of tempers the echo a bit.
Let's see. I turn the microphone up a little bit. Maybe that'll help some. I don't know. Because I don't have a filter. Well, there's a filter built into this microphone, but
Hello, with your petrol. Let's go. We're at the half mark of the stream.
H1O petrol.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
just so you know, these streams don't always go on time, chick. Sometimes they go over.
yeah, but that's when you and Maria talking.
Yeah.
Y'all talk forever.
It might happen here too.
All right.
Don't you underestimate my power.
Don't threaten me with a time. That's you every day, bitch.
That's not Joe's slogan.
So, yeah, back on track. So let's talk a little bit more about, shout out to Alpha Wolf for letting us know about the echo. So let's talk a little bit more about what was it? So you
What?
can't see.
Because I'm down here trying to mess with this microphone.
Okay. So so we talked about Elle going back to her memories. She found out that it wasn't her that killed all the people and the little kids and blah blah blah. It was Peter who we found. Peter who we found out it was Vecna, and Dr. Martin was trying to keep him under control. And back we see a little bit more about Max going back to the core group, about Max trying to actually contend with her problems, in which she's having the same thing happen to her, the headaches, the bloody noses, the pregnancy brain, she's got it all. So as it turns out, she really regrets, which seems to be the overarching theme of this. Um, she really feels bad and regrets like her brother dying, and she really wanted to have that relationship with him,
For
which
whatever
he self-sacrificed himself. That's reason enough. He had that like, really tiny redemption arc in the last season.
really tiny redemption arc.
Really tiny. They just really
That doesn't
wanted
make
to
up
feel
for
bad.
all that time of him treating her like garbage and beating her ass every day.
Yeah.
I ain't forgot. Fuck Billy. I don't care what nobody says.
Speaking ill of the dead here.
So the fictional dead.
Fictional dead. So, you know, and that allows Vecna to enter into her mind and like take her over, which we find out on separate ends that it's music that brings them back because she was on. She was so deep into like his world. She was kissing back. So that was like a big reveal that Nancy and Robin found out when they went to the, I almost said called it the penitentiary, when they went to the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the big reveal of how you not necessarily defeat the monster, but how you gain control is they used music to bring them back. He even says that he thought he heard the voice of an angel, and it wasn't. So that's what saves her life and enables her to get out of that realm. She's the only one so far because now Nancy is in the is stuck there.
In the upside down. That's where she is, yeah.
In the upside down, yeah.
Somehow L banished one dude to the Phantom Realm, and then and then while he's in there, you know, just like no, after losing that game of Yu-Gi-Oh to L, somehow he completely took over that entire reality.
He was just that pissed off.
He was that angry.
He was that
He's so
angry.
mad he took over the world with one thought. Like, oh, okay.
I mean, in Boondock, Stinkmeaner came back from the dead, so
Satan gave him a second chance. He was Stinkmeaner.
Yeah, but he was taking over. He was like whooping demons' asses. Alpha wants to know how do we feel about the reveal on where her powers actually come from.
That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I had a completely different opinion to what happened with Elle, how she got her powers and shit, and you know, but seeing so much behind the scenes things that kind of push her forward and you know, like put her in the spot she was in, and the fact that we know that she is so powerful, she can banish people to different realities.
Yeah,
that's a really powerful character. Like it's kind of OP, you know.
Kind of OP. Actually, it almost kind of reminds me of and this is weird. What happens when you lose a duel?
That's what happened. He was like, I put my blue eyes and my dark magician in attack mode, and he had all of the static multipliers, and I was like, she just went, misunderstood me. Yeah. I have all 5 pieces together. You don't. Yes. Exodia. Obliterate. Like, oh shit. And it's like, damn. He's like, no. 5 points went down, vanished off. Everybody was like, no, Elle, you did it. You are the true one, you know. And that was just like, yeah, and her eye kind of started shining and shit. She had the millennial piece in her eye, you know what I'm saying?
I was going to ask, how far are we going to take this?
Oh, I can take it really far. I can put her in the plot, make her the main character. He keeps playing.
Yeah. But so we've talked a little bit about if I'm jumping around, I'm so sorry. We talked a little bit about because there's so much to cover. The group as a whole. One plot we haven't like really talked about, and we're like halfway through this, is we haven't talked about Hopper and his plot. So I almost called her Nancy and Winona. So Winona Ryder, she is on the move to find Harper. So Joyce and Murray make this, like, apparently Hopper has like this deal with one of the Russians in order to get on a plane and get him back home in exchange for like I think it was like $40,000 or some shit.
Yeah.
Which apparently became rich as fuck. So I don't know the exchange rate or like inflation as far as like 1980s concerned, but it's a lot of money. And so he sends them like this stall, sends Joyce a stall in the middle. She calls up her and she's like, "Hey, think Hopper's alive. We gotta go find this bitch." And I'm sorry, he's not a bitch. He's a dude. We gotta go find this dude.
You
And
mean to be a bitch? That's not impossible.
that's true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend any dude bitches out there. And so like Hopper is just really going through it. Like he makes every attempt. He's so badass in this. He gets his like fucking ankle ripped just to fucking escape. And as it turns out, the spoiler alert, surprisingly enough, I guess, the pilot was unreliable and got all their asses to the jail or to the Russian prison, where they currently hold Demigorgon. And just that entire plot is super cool, just because you don't often see, like, well, you see the adults doing their own things, but this was more so like a rescue mission for Hopper because we had two rescue missions for Will, right? So now it's a rescue mission for Harper.
Is it Harper or Hopper?
Hopper.
Yeah, okay. You saying the name kind of funny. I was like, "Are you sure it was Harper?" Pretty sure
Yes.
there was no R in there.
I told you. My brain. So yeah, and he is doing everything he can because he does escape.
Well, we don't know for real.
No, I mean, like in the beginning, he kind of escaped, and then he got found out again.
I'm saying he's met up with Joyce again, and we're gonna see. Also, can we talk about how Murray learned martial arts by fighting 16-year-olds and somehow was bad enough to fight a bunch of Russians?
Murray took martial arts, and he took children's martial arts, and so in the face of grave danger, he had to be talked to. It's like, yeah, I did defeat a 16-year-old, and he was like badass.
I'll put it like this.
I didn't know that. You're a martial artist, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna explain to you. So back in the 80s, there wasn't such thing as children adult martial arts. They didn't have a separation. You were old enough to take it. If you were in class with the adults also. So you had to really prove how good you were. This is in America, now right everywhere else in the world. So he probably took martial arts lessons from somebody who was teaching people to make money, and they had a whole bunch of other kids in there also taking the martial arts, and that's kind of how they, made their whatever. He just took one probably with a whole bunch more kids and adults. There was a 16-year-old in there that was pretty good. He was bragging about beating them. However, it is crazy because he's over there in Russia fighting people and kicking their asses, and they have Russian training, and I don't know what that means for anything. I don't know if it's supposed to be a joke. I'm not sure.
Well, because the guy on the plane, he wasn't military or anything.
No, beating Yuri isn't the thing. Yuri is just a fucking clown. That's whatever.
But you're talking about the actual like prison guards, like the way he just like completely whooped ass because he got his vote of confidence.
Yeah, and then of course on this, there's 11 sister from season 3 backstory still fading with the new reveal. We don't know all the characters that were in there, and we don't know if they all died or not. We also don't know who, because some of the we know he caused wanton destruction and all that shit, but we don't know who could have survived because some kids could have escaped. He didn't get all of them. He doesn't have an all-seeing eye across the planet. It's not that strong. Even if he did wake up again, he couldn't have got that that fast. And he was mostly going for the prisoners. Mostly going for the guards themselves. He only stopped probably the kids that got in the way. He killed them, which they were probably doing because
I just assumed he killed all of them like as a clean slate. We should only have like the powerful here because
some of them could have got out. Because everybody's dying, the dude's gonna run off.
Also, I'll say this: I didn't necessarily forget about the 11 sister plot backstory, but also that was in the season that was the complete
throwaway.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I felt like it was something that they put in just as a weird side plot to give her more backstory, but it just didn't. It felt not like a waste of time.
Did she have a tattoo on her arm or whatever like Elle did? I don't remember if she did or not.
I don't remember either.
So if she didn't, she probably had psychic powers, but never was committed. And she sees Elle has and was like, "Oh, we're like sisters. We're like from the same cloth."
Yeah.
It could what she's talking about. Like, you're just like me. We both have powers or some shit. Then again, because her power was different. Hers like foresight. She didn't have a because
Yeah.
it seemed like the kids in the second facility, they had a mixture of telekinesis, telepathy, and that's really about it. I guess they can move with their mind and they can like read minds.
Hmm.
But like, I don't. The girl outside only could. She only had future vision. She can future vision. Like, see the universe shit. Goddamn. She was a psychic. She could see the future. She could scry. See
Yeah.
the future. So like, she never had the abilities, and I don't think they had anybody in the facility that could do that per se. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
But
and I don't even know if they're going to reference that later on in part two
you know, a
either.
whole nother like 16 episodes to watch. You could just put them all together. You know.
You could have, but I
She
think it's
did. Okay, she did show Tattoo
okay.
211. So yeah, she was there. She could have escaped. Know what? She can see the future. She's probably like, this is coming.
She was like, "Oh, I got to get out this bitch. I know what's gonna happen."
I'm getting the fuck out.
But that would also question why she's the only one that has like that foresight.
That was kind of power. Not every psychic power is the same kind of psychic
No,
power.
I get it, but we saw like as you mentioned, there are a lot of kids with like telekinesis and like mind reading powers.
Yeah, telekinesis is my reading, not seeing the future. Those are different abilities.
That's what
What are you getting at? What is it?
I'm saying. Why was she literally the only would be the only one that had that?
I don't know. I didn't write the damn story.
Now for brothers, we need some answers.
She did illusions. I'm trying to remember now. I thought she had foresight. That she did create illusions. That's what it was. Yeah, yeah.
We are all like,
Man, look, season 3 happened like 5 years ago. All right, I can't always remember all this shit. My
Season-
brain. I was most excited when they said Hellfire Club. I was like, Hellfire Club.
X-Men.
Oh shit! And I was like, oh, Elle is like the Phoenix. I was like, oh damn, that caught my attention real fast.
Yeah, except she's not like, fuck everybody style like the Phoenix.
She should be after as Mercenary X said. I think we all agree that Angela's the worst. Yeah, if I was getting picked up by some silly ass blonde and shit every day, making fun of me and trying to, if she did get hit in the head and in the skating ring, I want to see.
So cathartic.
I want to see Elle take Angela in the edge, like, who are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
Like with the knuckles. Damn, it's that. But there's knuckles been there. Knuckles there doing the whole. What do I need with your power? Like, sure, better yet, what do I need with your popularity? Dun dun dun. All like Scott Pilgrim style, where the screen goes black, you see the boom.
Fucking net. I got it. Son of a bitch, I got it.
Good.
Motherfucker. Now, what am I gonna do with it?
I mean, you can go wash your hands. It's just me right here.
All right, you talk. I gotta take a pee anyway.
Go ahead, you do that. On the foolishness tip. Anyway, hope you guys can hear me. Man, whatever. But yeah, like I was saying though, but no, like it would be super dope if like Elle goes up to Angela and is like, just takes her into the air with the full force choke going on and like puts her in her proverbial place. She's like, oh my God, the world is bigger than I thought it was. It's not just high school. Which is the thing for me that I'm still trying to get. It's not like it's super complicated. I mean, it's high school. He's preying on the teenagers because they're high schoolers, they're teenagers, and they have a lot of guilt. And that's he can only do that. I mean, I've thought about it before. Vecna is not really messing with adults too much. He did kill his mom when he was a child, and he can obviously access their guilt and other shit and mess with them. But he can also just kill them when he wants to. He doesn't have to infiltrate their fears, whatever. He is getting their mind and get rid of them. And I think it was easy to get rid of his mom because that was his mom, and I think she was just vulnerable to him. Plus, she was afraid of him regardless. And I guess when they had that fear, their mind is weakened. It seems like them listening to music is giving them an edge. So if they can calm their mind and find a happy place, he can't really do anything to them. I think that's important to note. And I think they're playing on that in this altogether. So like, I don't know how they're going to defeat Vecna per se. I guess they're going to use L to pull out a Hail Mary and like destroy him with like some kind of really powerful something. Once the entire crew is together, plus new people. I'm pretty sure out of the characters they've shown us, they're going to kill somebody else off. That's important. I don't know who. Hopefully, somebody we don't care about too much. Somebody's kind of newer to the series, but who can tell? But I really am wondering how they're going to get rid of Vecna entirely. because it seemed like his powers for control are like. I agree. It was a long monologue that did not need to be there. Him just going on, his he. What did that monologue remind me? It reminded me of oh my god! It's like you took Samuel Jackson's monologue from Pulp Fiction and you expanded it for like another 15 minutes because he had a whole manifesto he wished to speak on, and you got to remember he's saying this to a child.
Who, Vecna?
Yeah,
Or at the time, Peter.
yeah, Peter
Mhm.
Pettigrew. So he was he he was just like the world doesn't understand. Far too long, rain falls sideways, never straight down. That means there's never an understanding for when gravity
And you're
works.
like, I get it. You're the
Like,
bad
yeah.
guy.
He's like, no, wait. I've been waiting for this moment for
It's
like
like,
15 years. I wrote this. I memorized this speech. Don't let me say it.
like, no. I honestly though, I will say that I don't. Two things about his character. No, three things about his character. One, as Vecna, I thought that it was one kind of like a nod to like X-Men, like Professor X, the way he was just sitting there searching for like um all these like thoughts of like these kids and shit just to find someone to pick on. It reminded me of like Cerebro. And then two, I don't like the fact that they revealed his face so soon.
Why does that always bother you?
Because bitch, okay, I'm gonna let you know. Just
Go ahead.
because we mentioned beforehand, I know it's like a nod to, you know, to Nightmare on Elm Street, but I feel like the big appeal of like the horror genre is when you don't really see the villain or the creature. That's what season one did so well. Like the creature was like in the shadows a lot of the time. You didn't really see him, and they kind of plays on the fear. But I felt like they should have like revealed him a little bit later on. That was
Can't do that because they also revealed Elle's backstory, so they're going to end the series, and they can't do that without revealing what he looks like.
No, I'm saying like not in the very beginning. Like they could have like pushed it a little bit more. They could have had him operate in the shadows a little bit more. Also, when he did reveal that, or when it was revealed that he was Vecna, they had like that ending shot where it's like, look at the thing slither off of his arm. Look, he's number one. It's like, bitch, I get it. Don't insult my intelligence.
It was kind of obvious
It was obvious
from the very beginning.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, keep talking.
But are you going to take a break?
No, I got to put my nose.
Oh, okay, either way. But for me, that was one of like the things that I didn't like because we're so much more like horror oriented in this, or I guess I should say more like slasher films. But yeah, we were talking about that monologue. It was long. I don't know how 11 paid attention through the entire thing. That was a lot to say. But I feel like a lot of it could have just been done in his like origin story because he actually did bring Nancy along with him through that story, which was also a little bit long. But we get to see a lot more about the villains. I don't know how Nancy's going to get out of that zone, and I'm looking forward to seeing like what happens in part two. We don't know yet if bringing back up to Hopper how they're going to escape that because they're still like they have that monster, the Demogorgon that was there in the prisons, and I don't really know if there's more. And that would be interesting because the only reason that they're Russia is because Russia had their own independent like investigation of what they were doing in the Upside Down. So that'd be interesting to see like later on in part two how all that plays in. If you guys have any questions for me, like let me know because I'm not like a talker. Bruce, a talker. He talks all kinds of mess. But I will say though, I really like this season. I really like all the nods to the 1980s aesthetic that we love so much. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Welcome back. I was just telling him that I'm not a fucking talker.
You're not.
No.
She isn't.
Why am I here? Except for entertainment. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions.
In retrospect, it should have probably like like do our podcast, like as a table talk type thing.
Yeah.
But let me see. On another note, Lou's crazy basketball friend reminds me of all the moms in the 80s and 90s who played.
Yes. I think that was.
No, he did. You know why? Because he was a bitch. Look, he was really this man because his girlfriend was dead, and he was somebody to blame for the grief.
Well, also that was the thing, right? I mentioned as I mentioned earlier, that was like a huge thing back in the 80s. That whole like, because in 80s and 90s, video games are the devil, like the Dungeons and Dragons, that's devil worship. They were really fearful of devil worship.
Well, Dungeons and Dragons was a hell-worthy thing for like from a like that's the entire 80s, I think. The video games didn't become a bad thing until Mortal Kombat came out.
Yeah.
Which was also the reason we got ESRB ratings on video games because the blood and gore, it's so realistic. Mortal Kombat is like real life. You die in Mortal Kombat, you die for real.
You die for real. And then the whole Hellfire Club, of course, that didn't help. And so you have all these like panic from like the parents that model the time. And of course they rise up and it's like, let's slay the Jabberwocky.
They rise up and they rise up and they vote.
Yeah.
Like my Uncle Ruckus there. There it is. They rise up, they vote, carrying on.
Yeah, I will say,
Pain, I guess. Yeah.
I do like the fact that Lucas like goes back to his origins. Like he doesn't just completely say, "Yeah, let's go fuck him up," because he doesn't want to be popular that way. This is your core group that we're talking about. Those are his friends.
Two reasons. One, he's not a fucking basketball player. He just wants to get laid.
He's black and he has a high top. He can play basketball.
So like Cartman right now. Yeah, you're black. You have a basement. You got a bass guitar in your basement. It's okay. You know how to play it.
Yeah. And then we also find out that which is also strange that he blames. Well, it's not strange that he blames because his friend thought, and can't even remember the boy's name. He's not even his friend anymore. But the basketball dude thought that his powers came from the devil. So when he saw his friend rise up in the water and go click clack, click clack,
with them things that click clack, take a super clap.
He wasn't even paying attention to like Eddie. He was just like, oh my gosh, he has devil powers and we gotta like rise up. If a motherfucker did that to your friend and you really thought he had devil powers, what do you think would stop him? Like not you, not the fucking like parents. I just don't. That's so bizarre. It's like we're gonna get everybody and have pitchforks and blah blah blah. This bitch has like supernatural powers, and you sitting back there like, yeah, I'm gonna fight you. Like, you just saw this bitch rolls up out of the water, which we also finds out that wherever Vecna's like kills are, there are these gates. Yeah. So there's one in Eddie's house. There's one in the water is in the lake where the older kids like go, and which is why like Nancy got her ass caught in the first place. And we see the old house that he used to live in and everything, and that was a really cool like moment. Although it looked like a vagina when it was going in, but what? You didn't think it looked like a vagina?
You know I thought like a vagina. You know I did. Like, dude, that was a vagina. It looked like something that Vecna never got. Which is probably why he's so upset. No, sometimes it takes getting laid to calm down. That's all I'm saying. I don't care what hole he put it in.
It was like a kid though.
He was a grown man in that facility. No. He didn't want to have sex with any of the other workers there. No, none of the.
But apparently he was already evil beforehand. Remember, because he liked whales. He killed his parents.
If one of those other adults was like, I don't give a damn if his name was Rick. I don't know if it was a Ricky with a Y or an I. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. Just get some ass, man. Like for real. Like smell the flowers, touch grass, find reality. All right.
Well,
Right.
his problem was he didn't want to live in a reality where what do you say you wake up, you eat, you go to work, you sleep, and then no, you procreate and then you die or some shit. And he left out shit. He didn't say
Think about
apparently
shit.
people don't use yeah, shitting is a very important part. I made a TikTok video about it. Shitting is a very important part
You
of
know what?
everyone's
Maybe
life.
that was the problem. Maybe just eternally constipated, and it
Yeah.
just made him mad. Couldn't think straight. Couldn't sleep. He laid on the side, holding himself. Was like, "Oh, you all right? Nah, man.
That pissed me off.
It should shit on yourself." But no, I mean, like, I don't know. I just feel like if he had found like just a little bit of fun in his world, instead of even Black Widows have sex, dude. Like they're spiders, you know.
Yep.
And even then, like him leading them to the where the doorways was to kill him.
Mhm.
Spiders don't do that. Spiders catch more of it on the web. Lead him to back to the center makes no sense. So you're more like a Venus flytrap.
What do you mean he led them to the door?
Because he like there were different doorways, certain parts. He kept leading them to where he could get them in order to attack them. You know what I'm
No,
talking
no,
about?
no. The doorways were created after the fact.
I thought he led them to the doorways.
No, no, no. The doorway. So when Chrissy died in the beginning, then there was like that crack in the ceiling.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
what's going on there.
and the same way after.
I figured the door was open from the beginning, but it was closed on our world. When he opened up from his side, it opened ours. But
No, no. They made the mention. They even make the mention. Now I want to say it was Dustin who actually was it Dustin who figured it out that like wherever they died, that's where I know it was one of, but they figured out
it
wherever.
was more than likely Dustin. Anybody did it was Dustin. Dustin is our champion. And if Dustin, for any reason, dies in part 2, I will riot. I will get on this live and I will spit at the screen. And I'll be
That's fair. I mean, you're spitting on your own shit, but that's
I
fair.
don't give a fuck. If I meet the Duffer Brothers straight after that, I'm choking them like, how fucking dare you?
So in some of our last few minutes, what are some of the things that you're hoping for season 4?
Yeah, this is season 4.
Part 2.
Oh.
Part 2 of season 4.
Resolution. I know they're gonna kill off somebody else. I just don't know who they're gonna kill off. It might make the most sense to kill off Nancy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not saying that to be like a dick, but she's causing a lot of character conflict, and she has a lot of unresolved shit or whatever. And it would.
But they all do.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the whole.
Yeah, I know, but like, out of the characters that are already established, Nancy and Will present the most conflict between characters. So killing off one, if not both of them, would resolute a lot, and it would calm the character line down. It will make it sad as hell, but it'll calm the character line down.
Do you think if they do kill Will off, it's kind of like well, he was going to die anyway. They've been trying to kill him for the fucking longest, since season 1 because he's the one that got trapped in the first place.
Yeah. They captured Will. I forget why they even took Will in the beginning. I think he was just scared and frightened and alone. But I think also because he's, in the closet. And he knew that. Come on now. Like, it's the 80s. You can't be gay and happy in public. Not in the 80s. It wasn't a thing. And the AIDS epidemic was coming up. You couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You couldn't. So, like, no, it's not a thing. So, I mean, it already been slid on since the late 70s. But, it's like, they're blaming it on gay people. They don't talk about that in the show, but it was a thing.
So you don't think they're going to kill off you think they're going to kill off a major character, but not necessarily like a slightly lesser, like either Eddie or Robin.
Killing off Eddie and Robin is meaningless. It'd be like it just be throwing them away for no reason. It wouldn't mean anything.
But at the same
That's
time,
something
these are characters that we kind of have. Like we don't necessarily have a whole connection with, but
the characters
do.
Yeah, the characters can settle if they want to, but you don't write a story for the characters in the story to have any kind of closure. You write it for the people watching that closure.
Well, see, and I felt that way when you're mentioning like useless fucking things. Why was Billy killed off then? As for like a little redemption arc, why so his sister can feel like bad?
No. Billy was killed off because he's an asshole. And no, I'm just being for like Billy's character is a dick. So they got rid of him, probably to leeway for season 4 where it has some kind of reason to be, sad and upset. But also that was a major antagonistic roadblock in her character development, and you can't continue a story with him being a dick, and you can't just reform him because he's an asshole. Period. And his dad's an asshole, and his dad's an asshole to him. All he can do is shit on things. So it's like, what else can you do with that? You have to get rid of that character. You can't continue. The same way when it comes to this, it's like getting rid of Robin or Eddie won't mean anything. To the characters it does, but for the plot line, it's like you left room open for another season. Now, they're not gonna kill anybody personally. That's fine too. But like they're gonna kill somebody off. Have somebody major, someone major that held the plot strings together. Because when you end the series, you kill people off. Have somebody important, but it can't usually be somebody that is involved in solving the plot line because that cheapens the story. Like killing off Elle or Finn or Dustin in this case or Hopper makes no sense. This is why you knew it was gonna be a season 4 for season 3 because Hopper died. Like there's no way you get rid of Hopper. That's bullshit. So
but even then, that'd be like on that point, it was like the end. But will there be like like a cliffhanger? It's like, oh my gosh, well, because is this supposed to be the final season of the series?
season,
Yeah. So it does have to be someone completely like gut wrenching, but at the same time, because we had other like characters that we didn't feel like were so important that got killed off, like Joyce's boyfriend.
yeah.
They made a.
They could do that. Like I said, the not important characters are not. I'm looking at both. The not important characters you can kill off solely because
he flipped me off.
The not important characters can be killed off solely because they're not important. Like, okay, they tug at your heartstrings because they tug at the other more important characters' heartstrings. You're following their story. You're not following their story. Like Eddie is essential to bring out the villain. That's why.
Yeah.
But other than that, he has no other function. He's just fun to watch right now. He's brand new. He creates a homestead of himself.
He's too old to be in high school.
That's very fucking like 4 years now. Like you should be driving. No, driving. You should have you can legally drink.
You should have a job with a drill.
Like seriously, like no, he's like 21, isn't he?
He got held back 3 years? So yeah, he should. If he graduated at 18, he would be 21. So
he's the only kid in high school that can buy his own beer. That's like being in middle school and driving yourself to middle school.
No, but this time he's graduating for real.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He should drop out, get his GED, or better yet, drop out, just go write your own Dungeons and Dragons quest and hope it can turn to a book. Like you've been in school too long. That don't make no sense being in high school that long.
So other predictions for season
by the way, Alpha Wolf, yes, Erica is awesome. Even though I'm just pointing out that Luke's sister, she is the future president. Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Erica Sinclair has all the attitude and black girl magic that is needed for that. So
she won the campaign. She put him in his place, and she's helped. I love the fact that because they actually brought her into they made her a more important, relevant character to the story, which is great. Even though she treat Lucas like shit, but
make fun of him being you dork. Your friends are dork. Y'all nerds, and you dork this and dork that. And it's like,
she can do that. She can make fun of him for being a nerd, she's still a nerd, big ass nerd, but anyway. So yeah, I'm interested to see like what actually happens. I don't know if 11 defeated him like in the beginning, and magically like banished him, whatever, to kill him. It'd be interesting to see how they do this, and it might be like they can't kill him, but continue to like dampen his abilities and like for somehow like turn him back. I don't even know if you can turn this dude back human, but something like it. It's a little bit difficult to say just because of the fact that it's not like a book or anything. There's no like reference point that you can go back to. So yeah, but I'd be interested in to see if like he completely dies, if he turns, like if they find a way to like get his abilities again, if the Dr. Martin comes back and plays a more important role in the process.
The chances are, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just also season 2 right now can only conclude, and if we're gonna play on, like, I'm trying to think, if we're playing on what's going on and they're concluding all together, it'd be more like, I don't know. I think Dr. Martin should die because what else is he good for at this point? I
And
think,
he would have another like redemption, like
yeah,
Billy. Yeah.
I think Elle should move back with her sister, so to speak. I think Will and Finn should, yes, I think they should find their way. I don't know. It just seems like it makes more sense. I don't know. I don't know. Will, like, Elle loves Will. I mean, Elle loves I said
Finn.
Finn. It's not Finn. Elle, Elle loves
But you know, his name.
no, his
Oh,
name is
Mike.
Mike.
Mike. We've been calling him Finn this whole time.
Yeah, because it's his name. We watch way too much Game Grumps and listen to and watch Dan do videos with Finn so often. That's why.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Elle loves Mike,
Elle loves Mike.
but you also think that Will loves Mike, and
I think Will loves Mike more than
in
Elle
a dick
does.
touching way.
Because just look, okay, Mike and Will have been doing way longer, and I feel like Mike may be flexible. I feel like he might be. I don't know. He seems kind of, but then he gets kind of like, dude, what's wrong with you, dude? Come on, man, we're bros. Come on, man.
Well,
We're
in
bros.
general, I do feel like I feel like it's adorable for Elle and Mike to be together and have that, but I also feel the same way. I feel like it should come apart, that love story, just because it kind of reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I always
Oh
say
yeah,
that
you want
Katara and Aang,
Katara and Zuko should have been the relationship match. It should not
yeah,
have been Katara.
like Aang, it just feels so
Forced.
yeah,
It feels forced. It's like it's like
yeah.
it was meant to be those two the whole time. It's like
Yeah, and I think the
it
only
didn't feel
reason
natural.
and I think the only reason why Eleven's holding on to Mike so much is because she doesn't have anything like outside of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think. Alpha Wolf says, I hear some people think Stranger Things story feel for 11 should have stopped at season 1 and go to another group for each season. What do you think?
Honestly, that'd been cool. That'd been like the numbers like I number 4, the my number 9, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
If they did it that way, to be perfectly honest, I don't think those series would have had as much of a following because okay, you gotta remember you have your true nerds. Sorry, you have your nerds and you have your dorks. Sorry, this is what it is. And then you have, I guess we call your normies, whatever. And you have your geeks, all that stuff. The people who are nerds and geeks, we can tolerate jumping from characters to characters, or maybe cameos of old characters coming back in and take the story at the value of what we understand what the base of the story is. Most people watch this stuff are not on that playing field. They're just watching it because it's cool for them, or it has a theme they just really like. So, in order to keep an audience like that without alienating them, it's what you do. I mean, Star Wars is a good example of this. Star Wars, what? You'd be all right. Star Wars introduced other characters and played on other stories that weren't like Luke and Leia and everything else, and made a little secondary. And even though the movies could have done better by acting and storyline and pacing and all that stuff, whatever, but it lost a lot of the audience for the exact same reason. But the diehard Star Wars fans aren't mad at it entirely. Not to that same extent. And I feel like if they made it where, like, personally, having them following separate stories of different sidekicks, having different adventures with different people would be fucking awesome. And it would, for me, the fact that it's going on this long with Elle and the crew and all this stuff is kind of tiresome. I think there should be other stories that involve it. Like if they had season 1 with Elle and them, and a season 2 with, like, who knows, 13, and then season 3 with number 11, whatever, who cares? and then like season 4, they all come together as one group, like, oh, the whole crew was here. Everybody's just like, that'd be cool to me.
Yeah. The only thing I think would happen is you would have people who would have a hard time caring about like the other
Yeah, I
characters. Like
know.
at some point you would have to like go back and reintroduce those. Like for the group, it's cool to see them kind of like grow up together and we can definitely have these stories. But for this really like main like plot, I think it could have like ended not necessarily in season one, but it could have ended like way earlier. Did we really need like this big bad like monster like demon for 11 feet when in season one that felt like enough? Um, and I can totally see it being more of like a thing where we have, like you said, have different like members of the group just do their own fucking thing and then come back like near the end to beat a super bad villain. Like, hey, this is what we've been dealing with. This is what we've been dealing with. Oh my god, this is the same fucking thing. Let's band together and fight this giant like dildo in the sky or something. Or it could be it could take a complete turn like American Horror Story, where you use like same characters to tell like different stories, but somehow in some way they still like connect to one main plot.
Yeah. I was gonna add on to that. Yeah. The no seriously, the only downside.
Cold coffee. Continue. Stop.
Okay. I didn't know my time. I can take pauses. I've seen you almost dribble on the court here. But no, as it was saying though, but like the only thing about it be difficult is be involving the same characters over and over again, allow them to come up to one big bad that can add more backstory and plot to the characters. So like when you use the same characters over and over again, you're allowed to create one major villain for a specific purpose that plays on the characters you're already drawn to. Honestly, that's much easier writing. When you have different groups going through it, you have to find a reason to connect them all together. That's complicated. Usually, when writers do that, they'll take, like Thanos, for example, they'll find a major outside villain that attacks the entire universe we created to bring them all together. That takes more thought and also takes more character playing and development to make them all make sense, make it work. In this in this instance, what they did was easier to write and it's simpler to follow. If they did it the other way around, it'd be some cool multiversal esque type of writing. But like they would have to get all these characters back together. They have to explain the time skips because they got say like they did the first season, the cast we already know, right? When they did the second season, another cast newer and whatever cast newer. That's a lot of people to bring back in, and we can't always predict what those characters will be doing. The actors will when it comes to the final season. They could have the deals going on or whatever else. And it's easier if you can plan it all where everybody come together at one time and make it all make sense. So like what they did was a safer route. The other route is not so easy. Even if they contract them, that's something you do if you've already written. If you plan for 4 seasons and you knew they're going to be from the beginning, I don't think they even plan to do this well. I think they only planned for the first one and didn't know how I was going to do entirely well. Well, maybe it'll be 6 seasons. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, every season felt like an end.
Yeah.
And probably for that exact reason, because we don't ever know, when you're going to come back or if something's going to get canceled. But we are beyond time. So let us know down in the comments. What do you have anything else to say? I see you wobbling back and forth, looking at me like you crazy.
Yeah, because nobody's going to answer that. You're not. It's like me and Maria's job. Thank you.
Bitch, excuse me. I'm a guest.
Bert, you fought it?
All right. So before I end this dude's life on this live stream, please let us know what you thought about the overall season 4. No, season 4, part 1. In the comments below, we'll try to get to all of your answers and theories.
She says we. You hear that?
Thank you for joining us for this live stream. I don't usually know how to end it, so I'm just going to say thank you all for watching and for being here.
Okay, I'll help you out. Okay, I'll help you out. Yeah, hey guys, so yeah, thanks
subscribe, comment, all that shit.
Okay, so Thanks for watching Approach the Nerd. Marie will be back soon. She's going through some personal matters right now, but she'll be back on the stream sooner than later. Of course, Quater Life Jam. You want to subscribe to her channel under that same name, Quater Life Jam. Also, you can subscribe to myself, Jet Groove. And if you did like this, make sure you like the video, ring the bell notification, getting updates on future videos. And if any questions in the comment section, please leave them. Also, you can send us a private message, DM, and everything else to the channel. We'll answer as soon as possibly can. Any complaints, any praises, especially praises. We are always there to assist. And sometimes if it's me, I'm going to offend because I'm kind of an ass.
Also, let them know what you want to see next. I might not be back on this bitch because, like, it could go to hell in a handbasket, but they definitely will.
Anyway, yeah, that's also the thing. If whatever you want to see next, this is a review video, obviously, but if you want to see me, Maria, come back on here and just talk about trash comics, you want to see us come back on here like we did last time and just talk about old school stuff, make a part 2 to that, just old school cartoons, movies, TV shows, or just anything like Who Framed Roger Rabbit's multiverse versus, everything everywhere all at once. I don't know, and it's such a weird combination, but
that'd be a cool connection, though.
You think so? All right, maybe no, maybe matter of fact, maybe Who Framed Roger Rabbit mixed with this is plastic, by the way. Who Framed Roger Rabbit mixed with the Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie. Oh, we should review that entirely. I'm gonna pass it back to Maria. I'm sure she's seeing this right now, but pass it back to her. Yeah. But yeah, all that good stuff. And Alpha Wolf, I'm gonna see if I can respond to your comment in the comment section below because we're getting ready to log off here because she's clearly trying to kick me off of here, being herself. But yeah,
at least you keep me on the schedule.
It's not about time schedules. It's about talking to the audience.
I love the audience. I love you guys. I love everything that you guys have been talking about and requesting and all your comments. I do. I really love you guys. If I wasn't married, I would marry each and every one of you. Hit me up because this might not be a thing anymore. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming to the stream. We will talk later. Bye.
Later.